Hi everyone, welcome back to the SAM Biology classes online. I am Salim. Today we are going to study another important concept, that is complementary genes. In the last lecture, I told you about the supplementary genes and two examples, that is comb pattern in foals and coat color in mice. In today's lecture, we are going to study about the complementary genes. See, as I told you, complementary genes, it is a type of intergenic interaction. Intergenic means it involves more than one gene. Okay, you can say 2, 3, 4, etc. Okay, so more than one gene is involved in this type of interaction, and it is also called a non-allelic interaction. Both are same, intergenic interaction or non-allelic interaction. And coming to the definition, so complementary genes are when two or more dominant genes, remember, two or more dominant genes interact with one another to produce a character. Okay, what is the meaning of this? So here one character, it is controlled by two or more dominant genes. But if you look at according to Mendel, what the Mendel says is one character, it is controlled by one gene, but complementary genes is a very special phenomenon. You can see that a character, it is controlled by the interaction of two or more dominant genes. ಎರಡು ಅಥವಾ ಎರಡಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಜೀನ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದೇ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಬಟ್ ಒನ್ gene cannot produce that character in the absence of another. Okay. So if one gene is present, if another gene is absent, imagine there are two genes. Okay, these are the two genes. If one gene is absent, only one gene is present, in the absence of another gene, that character is not expressed. It means both the genes must and should be present in order to express the character. ಎರಡು ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ಜೀನ್ ಇತ್ತು ಸರ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಜೀನ್ ಆಬ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. That character is not expressed in the absence of the another gene. And the best example for complementary genes is the flower color in sweet pea. Okay, so be careful. Mendel performed his experiments on the garden pea, and complementary genes, this phenomenon was studied in the sweet pea, that is particularly the flower color. So flower color is the character, and the name of the plant is sweet pea, and scientific name is Lathyrus odoratus. Now let us study how this inheritance takes place. See, the flower color in sweet pea, it was studied by the two scientists, again Bateson and Punnett. Bateson and Punnett studied the inheritance of flower color in sweet pea. As I told you, the comb pattern in foal is also studied by the Bateson and Punnett. Similarly, flower color in sweet pea is also studied by Bateson and Punnett. And in the sweet pea, two varieties of flowers are observed: red flowers and white flowers. Okay, so these are the two varieties of flowers that are usually found in the sweet pea plant. And red color is due to the presence of a pigment called anthocyanin. Anthocyanin, it is a pigment which is responsible for the red color. You know that, take example, human blood is also red in color. It is because of the pigment called hemoglobin. So hemoglobin is responsible for the red color of the blood. Similarly, anthocyanin is responsible for the red color. Okay, and this anthocyanin is produced from a substrate called chromogen. Remember, chromogen, it is a colorless substrate, and this colorless substrate, it is converted into anthocyanin. Okay, the chromogen, it is converted into anthocyanin in presence of an enzyme. Suppose if the enzyme is absent, imagine if the enzyme is absent, the chromogen cannot be converted into anthocyanin. Okay, if chromogen is absent, only enzyme is present, in this condition also anthocyanin is not produced. So for the production of anthocyanin, there are two requirements. Number one, chromogen, as well as the number two, enzyme. Both should be present. Okay. Now this chromogen, it is produced by a dominant gene represented by capital C. C stands for chromogen, the first letter of C. Okay. And the enzyme is produced by another dominant gene. It is represented by the letter capital A. So remember, capital A, it is a dominant gene which produces the enzyme, and the capital C is a dominant gene which produces the chromogen substrate. If this capital C is present in the recessive condition, chromogen is not produced. Similarly, if this A gene is present in recessive condition, the enzyme is not produced. Only in the dominant condition these respective products are produced. So this point is very important. Only in the dominant condition of the genes only, so these things are produced in the plant. For the synthesis of anthocyanin, I mean for the red color, both these genes should be present in the dominant condition. ಎರಡು ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಅವಾಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಆಂಥೋಸೈನಿನ್ ಅಥವಾ ರೆಡ್ ಕಲರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, as I told you in the last lecture, walnut is produced when capital R, capital P is present. Both should be in the dominant condition. Similarly, here also capital C, capital A, so they must be present in the dominant condition. Okay, then only anthocyanin is produced. Now let us study the inheritance of this flower color in sweet pea. See now, so you can see that there are two parents, and their character, the phenotype is similar, that is white and white, but you can see that the genotype is different. So this parent has a capital C genes, whereas this parent has a capital A genes. Okay, hence the one parent has genotype capital C, small a, another has a small c, capital A. Now if you take the gametes, so it is homozygous condition, therefore capital C. It is also homozygous condition, small a. Here also homozygous condition, small c, and here also homozygous condition, capital A. And when these gametes are fertilized in the F1 generation, you can see the genotype capital C, small c, capital A, small a. Okay, capital C, small c, capital A, small a. So here you can see that both C and A genes are present in the dominant condition. Anthocyanin pigment is produced, therefore flower has red color. You can see the parents here, both the parents are white because in this parent only capital C is present. In this parent only capital A is present. As I told you, both the genes should be present in order to express the red color. ರೆಡ್ ಕಲರ್ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಸಿನೂ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಎನೂ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಅವಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೆಡ್ ಕಲರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಬರೇ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಸಿ ಇತ್ತು ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬರೇ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಎ ಇತ್ತು ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದಿಸ್. Okay. Now if you intercross the F1 generation, that is red into red, by taking same genotype capital C, small c, capital A, small a, here also capital C, small c, capital A, small a. So as we know that there are two heterozygous conditions, so 4 gametes are produced. Here also heterozygous conditions are 2, hence 4 gametes are produced. Now coming to the F2 generation, by plotting the Punnett square, so take these 4 gametes in this row and take these 4 gametes in this column. Okay, now just simply go on multiply this with this, this with this, this with this, and this one with this one. Similarly you can multiply this with this one with this one with this, and this one this. So like this, if you, after writing all the 16 genotypes, see, remember, as I told you, when you are writing phenotype, be careful. So both C and A should be present in capital. You can see that here all are capital, therefore no doubt it is red. Here also capital C, capital A, red color. Capital C, capital A, red color. Capital C, capital A, red color. So taking this one now, capital C, capital A, again red. Capital C, capital A, both are there, therefore red. Capital C, capital A, red. Now see here, only capital C is there. Small a idave. So therefore only white, because capital A is absent, therefore white. Again you can see capital C, capital A, therefore no doubt again it is red. Okay. So little spelling mistake is there. Again it is red. Now, so here only capital C is there, therefore white. Here also capital C, capital A, red. Only capital A, again white. Only capital A, white. Here also only capital C, white. Capital A, white. All are recessive, no doubt again white color. So how to remember this? See, you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So a triangle is formed. Right angle triangle is formed, and remaining all are white. Okay. Remaining all white irutte. E triangle alli you can see that only this line has the red color. So remaining all are white. Therefore in the F2 generation, okay, F2 generation, the ratio is 9:7. Remember, very important point, complementary genes ratio in the F2 generation is 9:7, where 9 are red and 7 are white. So I hope I was clear with this concept. If you understood, like the video, subscribe the channel and click on the bell icon all. Thank you very much.